The following Christian classics are ideal companions when using this DVD. Each book is referenced specifically in the enclosed group study guide. Available from booksellers everywhere or directly from Paraclete Press, 1-800-451-5006 and www.paracletepress.com. Discovering Christian Classics.
We know from Christ's birth, we know even
with Lauren Winner
the gifts
trails out behind me.
and Jonathan Wilson-Hartgrove.
The story says that they all scattered.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Wilson-Hartgrove. I'm an author, a speaker, and a new monastic, a member of the Rootba House community.
I'm Lauren Winner. I'm a writer and a historian. I teach church history and Christian spirituality at Duke Divinity School.
A community that has learned from the monastic tradition, but lives together with married and single folks together here in the Walltown neighborhood of Durham, North Carolina.
When I'm not at school, I'm hanging out with friends at church.
I'm also an associate minister here at the St. John's Baptist Church, historically black church here in Durham, and has been kind of the anchor church of this neighborhood for about 100 years.
I hope that this series on some of the classics of our Christian spiritual tradition will help you, as it has helped me, enter into some of the really great, rich works of our spiritual tradition.
I'm excited to be part of this because I kind of feel like it's an opportunity to introduce you to some of our wise grandmothers and grandfathers in the church, and to listen to their wisdom and kind of sit at their feet.
Works that I find really encouraging and edifying, and they're also books that I frankly find pretty challenging.
It's a great gift to get to learn from them and to share some of what they've said with you.
Brother in a monastic community writing to these,
Lauren Winner and Jonathan Wilson-Hartgrove talk together about the Christian classics and how they can inform our Christian faith.
They're books that call us to do something, or even to be different people than we are right now.
What makes a Christian classic?
I was thinking about what Robert Frost said about a classic poem. You don't have to wait for the test of time to see if something's going to be a classic, but you can know when you read it if it makes an impact on you. He said if it wounds you, the ones that really matter to me are the ones that have made an impact on me, and they've stuck with me since I read them, and I can't get over them.
And I think what is exciting about the Christian classics and the experience of reading them, and reading them carefully, and reading them alone, reading them with friends, is that yes, they are these texts that we're supposed to sort of receive, and we can imbibe all this wisdom, but also they're really invitations to participate in this ongoing conversation.
Why read the Christian classics?
I read them in part to help myself remember that Christianity is a whole lot bigger, deeper, wider, broader, longer than my little community, a community that I love and I'm glad to be a part of, but we're part of this living, breathing organism, and you know, like, it's sort of the access we have to the communion of saints.
I read the classics for some of the same reasons, but part of what you were saying earlier is, you know, we don't always feel comfortable with everything that's said, and I think that kind of intentionally opening ourselves to the questions and even the blindness of the church in other periods can be helpful. You know, I mean, I was just reading Chrysostom the other day, and he's anti-Semitic.
So deeply anti-Jewish, and so problematic.
And, you know, that's there, and that's been there for a lot of our history.
How do you simultaneously, like, revere a text or an author and know that that author is far from perfect?
Which is why I kind of like comparing them to grandparents, because I grew up with racist grandparents who taught me a lot of good things, but they were racist as they could be.
Right.
And I think there's still things to learn from people who have blinders on.
Well, and it's also the church. This is the church. The church is a great gift, and the way that we love one another and love God is in that institution, but the church is also an institution that exists in time and space and has been enmeshed in all sorts of social contexts and problems. And
so a classic doesn't have to be perfect to be a classic.